I'm here with actor Alan Trinca, who is currently starring in Love's Labor's Lost. But before we talk about what you're currently working on, let's jump back. When did you first decide you wanted to be an actor?
Uh, um, I would say this runs deep, man. I was probably 7 years old when I found my mother's camcorder, and me, my brother, and my cousin would like run around and like shoot these things. And at the time, it was fun, you know. But as you get older, you start making stories, you start developing character, and the next thing you know, you're in high school, and all you want to do is the plays and the musicals, and then you end up going to college for it.
Yep.
You know, and then it's like, oh, like I'm going to New York City to do this, so it's just like sort of all fell in step.
Was it daunting coming here to the city for the first time? Were you good with it, or?
Yeah, that's interesting because I definitely was excited about it. There's actually, I remember being a kid. This is strange. Like this doesn't even make sense. It's one of those things where I remember being like 14, putting headphones in my ears and training myself to be able to fall asleep to music because I knew that at one point I'm going to live in New York City and it's going to be loud and I'm going to need that skill. Like, but it was so weird because I didn't actually plan for it, but I always sort of knew I was going to be here, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess that said, when I came here, I was just really excited. It was something that came to fruition.
What was your first credit here?
My first credit here. I guess the question there is, well, like workshop-wise or, you know, professional?
Professional.
Yeah, let's say, okay, so I did a Full House, the musical parody off Broadway, and I started as the understudy for Uncle Jesse, which was ridiculous. And then, you know, I ended up doing that until it closed, pretty much. So that was my first credit year.
And he would not be your last pop culture icon, so to speak.
That is correct.
You played Joey Tribbiani. You played Dylan McKay.
Yeah.
When you were doing this stage work, was that where you really wanted to focus? Did you want to do TV and film as well? Did you feel more comfortable in one over the other?
Yeah. So I've always been the type of person who I don't like to limit myself. I always say I want to do everything because I truly do want to do everything, and I think I have a love for the stage that is different than the love for on-camera work and even voiceover work, you know. But I want to do it all, and I think I can do it all. I think it was a good place to start in theater because I went to school for performance and it was theatrically based. You know, we didn't have a ton of on-camera classes or training, so for the most part it was stage work, you know, acting, and a lot of singing and dance as well. So when I moved to New York, it just sort of made sense for me to continue on that train.
And you have you had to pinch yourself because you've been playing the hunk of like 3 shows now? Is that what you set out to be? Did you set out to be the hunk of New York?
I wouldn't go that far, but
Poetic license, and you paid me some money, so I gotta
Exactly.
compliment you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's kind of surreal. Like, I don't necessarily see myself that way, but it's just funny what people see when you walk into a room, and then, you know, the kind of roles that you continue to get cast in. And you look at your resume a couple years later, and you're like, oh, this is my type, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you study the performances of the actors you were basing characters on, or did you kind of do your own take? And I would assume they were all parody musicals.
Yeah.
So did you watch but then throw in an over-the-top humor-laced performance?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the thing is with these characters, and I'm going to talk specifically about Joey because he's sort of more, you know, idyllic than all the other ones. Like, if you don't do Joey right, people will be mad. I mean, there are Friends fanatics, and then people came from literally all around the world to see this show when it was off Broadway, and you just got to do them right. So in that sense, you have to sort of pick up Matt LeBlanc-isms and then sort of adapt them to yourself because you are Matt LeBlanc. I'm not Matt LeBlanc, you know, but...
Oh, wait, you're not?
Yeah, well,
Damn, I thought I was interviewing you.
I know, I just...
This
Sorry
is a
about
waste
that.
of my time. So, since you played that pop icon and you said people were coming from around the world, did you have any interesting fan encounters after the show? Did people wait for you and that kind of thing?
You know, it's funny because after shows, we would be like, you know, we'd leave the theater to go home, and there'd be people waiting there, sort of wanting autographs. And I'm thinking to
Yes.
myself, you guys, not to minimize me or what I'm doing, but it's like, you guys think I'm at LeBlanc. Like
is that
I'm
what it
not.
was?
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
how you doing? Like, will you sign this thing? It's like,
Yeah.
you say how you doing. And so I loved it. Like, it was
Yeah.
so much fun. But I wondered if there was a little bit of like, I don't know,
Disassociation.
going on.
That $5 word I pulled out for you.
Hey, whatever.
Now, why don't you talk a little bit about some of the film and TV work that you've done?
Yeah, so at this point, I'm actually at this point in my career transitioning a little more into that. Not to say that I'm now neglecting theater world, but I'm starting to audition more for network television shows, and I've had some hits, and I'm just waiting to sort of break that wall. It's a tough wall to break.
Yeah.
But I've done a couple of investigation discovery shows, which are network TV shows. So those are fun, or not network, cable rather.
Yeah.
And other than that, I've been doing a lot of short film work as well. I got a shoot for a SAG short film next week called Roommates, where I'm one of the leads in that.
Very nice.
I actually produced and wrote my own short film, so I'm going to give that the old plug.
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
So I wrote a short film called Warriors for Social Justice, and it's sort of like, when that goes a little too far, and when we as a culture make assumptions about people without actually knowing them, and then would rather take them down instead of like have the conversation to understand each other. Anyways, it's a play on that.
Doesn't seem timely at all.
No, it's all in my imagination. But that ended up, I submitted to Funny or Die. That got featured on their homepage for
Very
about
nice.
a month, which was really cool. So I do a lot of that as well.
And you have a lot of actually primetime shows that shoot here in New York, so you do have a good chance of booking one of those.
Yeah, hey,
A lot of stuff. We'll send it out into the universe.
we're out there, man.
Now, you're currently in Love's Labor's Lost, and it's kind of an interesting way, because the dinner theater, right? They actually do they serve the dinner while you're performing, or?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm the swing, the male understudy for the show, so I cover all 5 actors. So that's, for those of you who don't know, it's Shakespeare, and I'm covering five actors speaking Shakespeare. So it's
No pressure whatsoever.
it's a lot, but it's actually really rewarding in a lot of ways. I've never done this before. The show itself, we hesitate to call it dinner theater because it's really the food is integrated with the story and with the action of the play.
Okay.
Each course is specially designed to sort of complement what's happening in the story. So for example, when the Russians come out and like they're trying to woo the princesses and they put these masks on and pretend to be Muscovites, they come out and serve borscht. You know what I mean?
Nice. So it's immersive.
It's super immersive, absolutely. When they hunt the deer and then we serve like tacos, so it's like, it's very paired together. And we also serve 2 courses of wine throughout the show, so that helps.
That helps too, yeah.
Yeah.
Start doing shots and then you
Hey, there's actually, we serve some Jaeger in the show too, so
Really?
it's no
I'll have to
joke.
come see this.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, there's a lot of opportunity for actors to put on their own work, whether it's a short film or theater. Is there anything besides the short film that you currently had up that you're looking to put out there, or?
Yeah, so not sure that I'm ready to talk about that yet,
Okay.
but I do have some things. I'm working on a web series right now that I'm
Nice.
on like episode 5 right now, so I'm just trying to get the episodes down. I have a team of people that we're we're working towards the big picture.
Yeah.
And I feel really good about where it's headed. So
That'll be interview number 2 then, I guess.
Hey, I'm here. I'm around.
What kept you going maybe when times were lean and you weren't booking as much work? What kept you going to want to keep pursuing your dream?
It's the understanding that what you're doing in your career is not equal to your worth. I don't know if there's probably a better way to articulate that, but I had to learn for myself that me not working, is not indicative of my self-worth. I have made sure that I have other things that keep me going. I'm very close to my family. I'm very close. Some very close friends that I keep in really close contact with, whether they're in New York or back in Buffalo, where I'm from. And so I make sure that those are the things that are the most important, you know? My career is extremely important to me, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life in one form or another. But at the end of the day, it can't be the sole thing that makes me happy, because that's fleeting, you know? So it's really my friends and family that have sort of kept me afloat.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What's the wildest project you've done?
The wildest.
For one reason or the other.
Yeah, well,
unless it was something you don't want to talk about.
No, I'm trying to think the wildest thing that I've done. Okay, so I did a commercial for Booking.com this past January, so almost a year, February, whatever. And they flew me out to Punta Cana. I mean, I've just never done an off-site thing to this extent, where they flew me to Punta Cana, put me in this all-exclusive resort, or all-inclusive resort where you could drink and eat whatever you wanted when you weren't on set.
Nice.
And I mean, I literally had to say booked it on a beach. Like they flew me out so that I could say booked it on a beach.
Not a bad gig if you can
I'm
get
telling you, it was unreal. So in terms of like crazy, like that was crazy to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to speaking with you in the future when you get your web series off the ground. And
Yeah.
for anybody who wants to go see this young man on stage, you can get tickets where?
Shake and Bake Theater with an RE.com.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time. It was a real pleasure interviewing you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man.
Thank you.